Welcome back to the LCS Proving Grounds. We had a heck of a Game 1 performance from 100 Thieves Academy, but now we got a little bit of cute time. We got a little bit of time till our next game. So we've got Solaria here. Obviously, we want to get some of the knowledge out of your brain, Solaria. So speaking of support focus, you brought a little bit of fun today. You brought a little bit of a bingo card for some of the supports we could see. Do you want to explain to me a little bit of what we got going on here? Because I saw some spicy picks there, Solaria. I'm just saying.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so we're gonna play a little bit of like support bingo. We're calling it support MIA. The little 3x3 bingo card. So we got a couple picks that are a little bit spicy. Then we turn up the spice a little bit more, and we get real spicy for a couple of them, trying to make it a little even. And it's just all picks I think we could see this best of three. Actually, not even this best of three, both best of threes today over the entire broadcast. I think some really fun picks. I hope to see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very excited to see if we get any of these spicy picks coming through for the rest of the day. We got to check back in at the end of the day for the bingo card, but let's go ahead and bring up that bingo card, see what those picks are, and if you want to just kind of walk me through the plethora of different options we have here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most standard one is Ashe support. Ashe support, I think we can see literally anytime, anywhere. You can just toss it in sometimes, so it's kind of a little bit of a freebie. I'm gonna be amazed if it doesn't get picked at all. The rest of them, there's a little bit of spice here, like the Vi support, Sejuani support, Rel support. Very few, far and few between competitive, or not even at all for Rel. And so we get a little bit less spicy with the Alistar, the Braum, Tom Kench. Like, we're seeing a little bit less competitive play, still very, very pickable in certain situations. And closing it with Amumu and Yumi. Very, very pickable.
Good rounded up.
Yeah,
it's the stock and standard, right? A lot of the difference in there, but it's those spicy picks. I love that your bias at the Rel comes through there. No big deal. The fact that we get the Ashe, the Vi, right, coming through here. But as we keep this in mind, this bingo card through the rest of the day, see what supports we do get. We got to talk a little bit about the support matchup in this first game. And as we roll some clips here, Solaria, we got to talk a little bit about what went down.
Yeah, I mean, this entire game, it really starts off with Smoothie trading flashes level 1. It really shows the roles both supports are going to play throughout the entire game. Smoothie's playing a playmaker here. It's his job to make plays happen, and his entire playstyle is shown through that, whereas Busio is a bit more defensive in trying to be the glue that holds his team together. You can always see him like moving towards whoever needs his shields the most. He's on the way. Whereas Smoothie's like constantly looking for flank angles, constantly looking for the flash hooks. It's all about like it's two very contrasting play styles, and it's been a wild ride watching them both.
Yeah, and for me, it's also the timings that Smoothie's taking advantage of, right? He didn't get into this fight against Jimian, but it's the fact that we do see the Renata roaming as well in a lot of those heads-up plays. But then, 100 Thieves as well. They did come out with a win, and they were winning these team fights holistically.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Smoothie found some fantastic angles, but Busio is legitimately the glue in this team fight, flashing to save someone doesn't quite get it, and then wins this 2v2 with Tenacity above Dragon. Every little bit, Busio's got such good placement in these team fights to keep everyone alive. It's great.
Now, do you see either of these guys whipping out one of those crazy picks here? Do you think that's what makes the difference for Smoothie? Do you have any thoughts about in terms of going to that next game in just the support matchup?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I could see either of them very easily swapping to a more melee, to a melee champion, being a bit more aggressive, looking for the plays. I don't think either of them will necessarily stick to the playstyle of Busio, keeping the team alive, smoothly trying to find angles. I think both of them could do either.
Yeah, both of them, as well as what we talked about, being the glue for their teams, but Busio, the glue's a little bit stickier, it feels like. I want to go ahead and bring back up the bingo card here, because I'm going to get your honest opinion of what pick out of these 9 you think is the most likely out of the spicy picks that we'll get today.
Most likely, I want to say...
What are you hedging your bets on?
Probably Vi as a counter pick into Zeri. I think is the most likely of the 3 spice.
Hey, I'll take that spice all day if I can get another vice support in Proving
Yeah,
Grounds.
I
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if it'll happen. I don't think it will. It's pretty spicy. I feel like no one's gonna play it without a lot of practice, but we could very well see it.
I am looking at the Sejuani. It would be really funny to see Sejuani support. I'm just holding that one out as a last hope. But thank you for the support, Mia. At least Bingo Card, as well as walking us through a little bit of that supportal action that we had in game number 1. I do want to go ahead and bring back Smacks and Deserex to break down that series a little bit more. And especially, coming off the cast, guys, a lot of early advantage from EGP, or not EGP, Evil Geniuses as a whole, but it came to those skirmishes. It came to the scaling for 100 Thieves that worked out in their favor, Smacks.
I'm glad that we're getting the Lulu shout outs here for Solaria because Busio did do a whole lot. And I couldn't even tell because it was all smoke and mirrors. Like Jimmy
Yeah.
was throwing all the soldiers everywhere, and I was like, ooh, Jimmy, he's doing everything. Busio did do a great job, and I still want to see Busio play like the Pike and the Camille that we see in Champions Queue. But if he's gonna be this good at Lulu, then I can tolerate it.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right for 100 Thieves. Desert's coming off of that one. What are you looking at for Evil Geniuses kind of pull it together, get back into the game?
So I don't think they need to change too much. It felt like they had a very solid game plan coming into this. It definitely hinges more around the execution of it. As I said, Will was the wrench in their plans. Will hovered very, very intelligently. Will was able to path very intelligently to the right spot where Tomio was always going to be. If they can get past that enigma, if you can solve the Will code, then I still feel like EGA have a pretty strong chance into this. And I really definitely don't see it that much being a draft issue than anything else.
Okay. Solari, I know we put a lot of focus on bottom lane, but looking at the matchup holistically, do you have anything else that really stands out for Evil Geniuses kind of pull back into this one?
Oh, I'm not
Anything
sure. Honestly,
spicy?
like I think both teams played really well. I kind of like both teams in this game. I don't really
Okay.
know what they could do better or change to really
Yeah.
change the outcome.
I feel you. I'm still just holding off on some of those spicy picks to maybe see if we get a Rich of the Works, especially. But for me as well, the bottom lane, I do want to dive into the fact that Evil Geniuses were willing to pick up the Draven here, and I think that in terms of stability can be a little bit questionable. And I think that's what 100 Thieves Smacks felt so confident and comfortable in. They drafted scaling, and who knew they would scale, and they made it to the end. Like, it's actually incredible.
I mean, to me, even if you are the scaling composition, you can never really be too confident against a Draven that has 3 Drakes already. And to me, like, that just goes to show how much 100 Thieves are elevating and how much they are taking very keen measures into making those team fights actually work out. And if we saw, not to like completely harp on them too much, but if we saw the form that these guys had against AoE Ginger Turmeric, I think they probably would have lost that game. And you can see them actually working together so well to make that aspect of their game a lot better. And everybody's chipping in. It's not just one person. Like, I think BMFX had some of the strongest team fights that he's had all tournament in this game on the Aphelios, and he's the one against the Draven that's up 2k gold. So big ups to him and big ups to the entire team for working together so well.
I do want to point out how frustrating it must have been for Cowrie to play that Draven, because you have to look into what that was into once the team fight started happening.
Yeah.
You know, when Draven is within range to fight 100 Thieves Academy, he's within threat range of being fought by 100 Thieves Academy. He's within threat range of Tenacity's Ornn, Jimmy's Azir, Will, who did get that very fantastic early lead, a short-range champion, would love to be in short-range proximity with you. And even with that, there were so many times where we saw Cowrie run in, and Boostio's just like, well, I got exhaust. Can't do anything anymore. It was a good response for 100 Thieves Academy to neutralize Cowrie and make sure the Draven didn't pop off.
Solara, you had to listen to me rant about it a lot during the game going on, but man, There's nothing like a tenacity award, all right? There's nothing like a tenacity award. I just
Oh.
watching, there were so many moments where he was trying to ult in these big team fights, but he would just get stunned down, and it's just a classic situation where he just doesn't get his second activation off,
For
and it's
flaming
actually
him?
hilarious. But the fact is, like, it doesn't matter if he's not able to get that big engage because the team holistically they drafted correctly and they're executing in a way, especially like you said with Jimmy and BMFX having huge team fight potentials here. It's actually incredible to see, and it's where Evil Genius is now. It's a little bit scary because the way that they lost the game one, it feels like there definitely needs to be a little bit of a change up in game two in terms of their focuses, Smacks.
I like all the things that you're saying. However, I do need to let the audience peek behind the curtain here real quick. When Lennon says that he was ranting about Tenacity's Ornn, what he really means is he's sitting in the call watching the team fights and going, Tenacity, how did you miss another Ornn ultimate? Come on,
That was
man.
exactly
Get
it.
together.
That was literally it. That was
I know.
literally it. But
The
and
entire
you got to
team
give it the
fight is
benefit of the
90
doubt, all
minutes.
right? There's a lot of
90 minutes.
CC on the other side, okay?
He's still got great crowd control in, even without the ultimate. He doesn't need an ultimate. Ultimate's a crutch. Leave it alone.
Is the ultimate a crutch, Solaria? Is that what we gleaned away here?
I mean, Ornn is picked a lot for the ult and the scaling, but even if the ult doesn't happen, Ornn is still so valuable in team fights. He did a great job.
I actually say that. It's all memes. We love you, Tenacity. And we have Champ Select ready to go for game number 2. So Desrex Smacks, let's see what happens.
All right, Smacks. All right. He's gone. All right, next one. Patch notes. Kog'Maw Lulu. Talk about it, Smacks. Let's go.
All right, perfect. We're getting into the next spicy pick of the draft. And of the new patch, Kog'Maw Lulu got a massive, massive buff on patch 12.15. What is it, you may ask? They got cute new skins that match each other. The monster tamers. They're so adorable, and I want to see somebody play it. It's so cute. We have to get a Kog'Maw Lulu game in there. I mean, Kallista's nerfed. Draven didn't really work out in that last game. The lane bullies, they're over. Play Kog'Maw Lulu so you can play the skin.
You know what, Smacks? If they're not willing to play it, after this cast, we'll play it together.
Yes.
We'll pull it out. Don't worry. I'm not going to leave you disappointed there.
Very good. That's what I want to hear. I'll buy the skin immediately. Yeah, the Azir ban. That's exactly where my eyes were going as well. Evil Geniuses, they're sticking on the red side, but that big adjustment is going to matter quite a bit. Jimmy was so impactful in that last game at just being a zoner for Saligo. No engages were possible at all. Now, we do also see that Vi is off the board too, so they can't construct the full Exodia of killing one person at a time, but they can still go for a couple of those picks, and I think with the Azir ban, they might do just that.
And it's a trade. You ban away Azir, but you leave up Wukong, the most played for Will throughout the regular season. He definitely made a pretty good name for himself throughout the regular season playing this champion, so we'll see what he's able to do with it. Has a lot of team fight potential, comes online very early, get that Divine Sunder, and suddenly you're doing some pretty big damage. The ban sacrifice on the other side was LeBlanc. It's not something we see Sligo on a little bit too often, but with Evil Geniuses, they are going to go ahead and grab that Zeri.
Zeri right away. Very, very different from the Draven of the last game. Even though that was still available, they are acknowledging on the side of EG that they need to have some amount of scaling. If Tenacity is going to pull out the Ornn, if you're going to see the Lulu as well, like all of the scaling on the side of 100 Thieves, you got to match it with something. And they didn't really have a whole lot of that in the last comp. Kaori is going for the old reliable, the champion who's been in patch notes more than any other this year of the Zeri. I am a big fan.
As well as the Ahri getting locked in. This is very much a takeaway to deny that mobility that we've talked about Jimmy and being on, what he's able to do alongside it. So grabbing that for Saligo, not the worst Ahri to really have here, and does have a lot of mobility in this draft so far for Evil Geniuses Academy, alongside that Zeri that can do that wall hop on top of it. So very fast movement, but a very aggressive matchup in the bottom lane for 100 Thieves Academy, as they'll put in the lane dominant Nami and Lucian.
And Smoothie doesn't have a whole lot of options here at this point. You can go full scaling with something like a Yuumi and just like say, hey, we're probably going to go down 50 CS against the Lucian Nami. Looks like that's the option. So again, Evil Geniuses Academy, they're fully acknowledging they need to have late game on this team, and it probably does need to be Kaori. He's been the most consistent late game force on Evil Geniuses Academy the entire year. Let's give him everything that he could possibly use to carry a game. Didn't really work out in the early. Let's make sure he's got it late.
not allowing Jimmy to have those mobility mages. A ban away from the Lucian, but the cat on book, it will be paired alongside the Zeri. Now Cowrie and Smoothie with that combo. Imagine them running all over the place, what they can do with that. Definitely a lot of chaos to be had. But you have a lot of threats on top of that, because I start looking at what Will can do with that Wukong. As I said, it's his most played throughout the regular season. In the early to mid game, he's fantastic on that champion, chooses his pathing very well, attacks lanes he knows he can get kills onto. It's definitely a reason why it's been his most played, and having that Lucian Nami combo in the bottom lane does give him a point of attack.
Yeah. Big thing that's different about this draft compared to the last one as well is that jungle pick for 100 Thieves Academy. They went with the first pick jungle instead of mid, and by doing so, they actually we're seeing a very similar thing for EG. Last time they, on the side of EG, blind picked their jungler and left counter for mid, but this time it's completely flopped. They are blind picking their mid laner and giving that counter pick over to Jimmian. Now, they are going to ban away that LeBlanc, but Jimmian has had some pretty lethal counter picks in a lot of the games that we've seen. He's one of our best Sylas players in the entire tournament. So if he has some spicy champions that are available to play into this Ahri, this is the time to see him.
I like this right here. This is such a duo to have when you're able to get the Yuumi and the Xin Zhao. I always bring up Xin Zhao when enchanters start to get bigger, especially stuff like Lulu, because that's when Xin Zhao starts to pop off, when you can have that support duo. Tomio and Smoothie. I mean, if you have Smoothie alongside you, you got that veterancy to try and guide. The response coming out from 100 Thieves Academy, though, they are going to go for the Sylas, hovering over, just grabbing the solo lanes, and we'll give the counter pick over to EGA.
I'm super excited about this Sylas. I was already hyping it up before he locked it in, but now that he has, I can fully let loose here, Desterux. I'm super pumped for Jimmy and Sylas. Do you remember that one Jimmy and Sylas play in Spring Proving Grounds where he just 1v4'd and survived the whole thing? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that disgusting sustain.
I should have pulled up that clip, honestly, because that is one of the greatest clips of the entire year here in Proving Grounds, and it was Jimmy, and it was on this champion. He is the big teamfight presence again for his team. He's got some skirmishing from the bot lane that can be really powerful. The Aatrox as well has a lot of healing on it, but Jimmy, this is the guy that's going to be, again, the big front line, the big scare factor for Evil Geniuses, where they can't walk past the Sylas. They have to do something about him. And if Jimmy plays the same way that he did in game one, it's going to be really hard to do something about him.
I very much believe he can. Sylas, you already talked about that champion. I've talked a lot about the Wukong that Will grabbed. I want to bring a stat up to you. He's played 12 games of Wukong. How many has he won in the regular season?
Is it 12?
11. Almost the perfect one.
That's still pretty good.
But that's a 91% right there. He is very good at this Wukong. Tenacity on the Aatrox as well. This is a lot of comfort, I feel, that's coming out for 100 Thieves Academy.
And this is what they have to do. They already showed what they can do with the scaling composition in the last game. Now it's time to just show something that they've already shown a bunch of times before, show that they can still have that consistency, and also just prove to themselves that the new patch isn't going to matter too much for these champions as well. A lot of skirmish, a lot of lane presence in the bottom lane especially, and a lot of teamfight power comes through with that Cyclone. So 100 Thieves Academy, they know this, we know this, we love seeing them win games on these champions. Maybe they can make it a 2-0 today.
All right, let us know in Twitch chat who you think is going to win 100 Thieves Academy versus Evil Geniuses Academy, game number 2. 100 Thieves Academy now kind of having the second win after they were wiped out in round number 2. Coming in so much stronger, coming in brutal, a lot of these. Now my question to you, Smacks, have Evil Geniuses done enough in the draft to try and take a game back and make this a game 3?
Well, I do really like it when Cowrie is on a late game champion and he's got a lot of support. That is what he has in this game. If he can get to that stage and not be super tilted off the face of the earth from the Lucian Nami, then I think it's going to be okay. And I don't say that because Cowrie's a tilter or anything. That's just because I've played against Lucian and Nami a million times, and I get tilted every single time without fail. It feels so unbeatable in the lane 2v2, and he's got a Yuumi with him, so it's going to be really hard to get a lot of stuff done in this lane.
Cowrie gets free. I mean, We've seen it for Evil Geniuses, what he's able to do. Very, very volatile. Either he'll perform incredibly well and just carry the living daylights out of the game, or he'll get a little bit overambitious and kind of run in 1v5 and get wiped out. We'll see what Kaori have. I feel like he's been a lot more tempered as of lately. I do give a little bit of that to Smoothie, who's been great at protecting Kaori for these overly ambitious plays. But now, being on this area, it's time to show up. This might be the last chance that Evil Geniuses Academy have.
I think that Smoothie actually doesn't have a choice of whether or not he wants to protect him in this game. I think he will literally be attached at the hip for the Yuumi, unless he wants to attach to the Xin Zhao or something. I don't know. Actually, Yuumi Gwen's pretty good. Maybe Surdy is going to be the carry of this game, Desirux.
Surdy?
We've seen him do it a lot of times.
Yeah. Looks good. Against Tenacity, that is definitely a tough one, because Tenacity was kind of boasted, especially very early on, as being like the top laner of Academy. It's a sin that he's still in Academy. Surdy has just been slowly working his way up. He kind of feels like he can challenge a lot of these upper ends, especially when we talk to him during Media Day. The thing is, it's talk. It's a lot of talk. You got to show it on the stage. In the last game, Tenacity to get the better, even in the lane.
Well, they're both on pretty similar stories right now, if you think about it. They both are coming up from the third teams on their respective organization. They both got promoted to Academy within the same org. It's just that Tenacity has an extra year under his belt over Surdy. So maybe next year we'll be saying the same things about Surdy. It's illegal that he's still in Academy. Maybe he won't even be in Academy next year. Maybe he'll be up in LCS, who knows. But one thing's for certain about Surdy is that his name is Jet Joy. And that is the coolest name I've ever heard.
Reminds me of Joanne Jett.
He is named after 2 Valorant agents.
It's amazing. Tomio. Look at this hover over here. Look at this call over here. They're bringing Saligo for this tower dive very early on onto Tenacity. It's going to be started off. Teleport getting channeled out from Jimmy, and this is the call for EGA. They got the teleport. That's enough burnt out of 100 Thieves. They're not going to try for anything else.
Yeah, losing that confidence again. As soon even think that Jimmy is going to show up. Oh, I'm not confident in this one anymore. I think we're going to have to back away immediately. Tenacity and Jimmy each have so much healing in their kits, so that turret dive really shaky to go for. They don't even deal any damage to Tenacity. No turret needs to be tanked. Just forcing out that teleport, which, like you said, is important for a few reasons, but one of them is that Saligo doesn't actually have a teleport of his own, so he physically cannot match that if Jimmy's going to teleport to a lane.
Exhaust getting burnt out. The jump onto Busio coming out from Kaori will force out both the heal and the flash. So taking advantage of the fact that BMFX was not over there. And take a look at Tomio. He just cleared out his top side. His bot side should be spawning soon, so you will have Tomio around this end at the same time Dragon spawning.
Ooh, and Tomio is going to be the one to take the early Executioner's calling in these team fights. You're going to have to watch out who he is attacking in the skirmishes, because we already said how much healing Silas and Aatrox have. There's a Nami on the team too. Everybody is going to be topped off with all of the healing. So Tomio, I respect that move quite a bit. You see a lot of the same stats in the fully completed Chainsword, is what I believe it's called, as you do with the Warrior Enchant of old. So I know for a lot of junglers, it gives them a lot of nostalgia from a simpler time of jungle itemization.
Now, both junglers will be pathing into the same direction. Will should be completing towards the bottom side. Dragon is now up. Now, I'm curious if Evil Geniuses are going to go for the same stacking win condition they tried before. It would be a lot harder not having priority in the bottom lane, thanks to that Lucian-Nami combo. The reset was called out by Kaori and Smoothie, but it seems it's not going to be the play for Tomio. We'll just path over back towards the top side.
Yeah, the Lucian-Nami lane is super interesting, because I mentioned that it's really annoying to play against, and you can find yourself in situations where you're down 50 CS. A lot of that happens when the jungler comes. And Will hasn't actually made his way down to this bottom lane quite yet. He knows he can use the pressure of that bottom lane to take these objectives and take his camps, but he hasn't actually stepped foot into the lane quite yet. And I think that is the big difference maker that BMFX and Busio are really wanting to see. Maybe then they can use all of that pressure and find some kills very early on and force this Lucian into being that super, super threatening champion we know.
Interesting call there. Starting up the Drake, not committing to it, gonna let the reset happen. As suspecting the reset's coming out for Evil Geniuses Academy. Otomio and Sligo were headed into that direction. So I'm going to pay mind over there. You still got priority coming out in the bot lane for 100 Thieves Academy, so that's something you can definitely play around with. Will be hovering on that side for a little bit longer. But now you have an interesting flank coming out of Surdy. Jimmy, rough position to go for as he's going to steal away the Spirit Rush. Still gets picked by the Charm, but will not go down. 2 more charges to keep him safe.
Spirit Rush making that Silas just another mobile champion. He already has a lot of mobility, and we know how well Jimmy uses said mobility in his champion selections. But Spirit Rush is just on another level with Silas. That gives you like 5 dashes and a flash.
Oh,
not enough, maybe.
Sligo! First blood in the mid lane. We'll get the outplay into Jimmy, and we hyped him up so much, well, we forgot there's another journeyman in this game, Smacks. It is Sligo.
Well, 5 dashes is not enough. You're going to need a 6th one if you're going to survive against Sligo's Ignite. This is the Summoner spell difference showing its head yet again. Jimmy, and he used that teleport up the top lane, and he did save the dive. But the fact that Sligo didn't take teleport and he did go for the lane advantage option gives him all this extra burst, and burst that's very good into Jimmy's champion specifically, because you get to burst down all that extra healing. Jimmy, he knows he can't even go for another Kingslayer because it just wouldn't do anything. Sligo, with the quote-unquote solo kill, will take that one down. It counts as a solo kill, but he did get the gank before, so I don't know. It's semantics here.
You know, Sligo was kind of in the early stages of this iteration of Evil Geniuses before we had Smoothie. They were kind of trying to put him into that leadership role. He was, again, one of the more veteran voices, you know, did play in 100 Thieves Academy. Remember that whole roster swap where 100 Thieves Academy swapped their LCS and Academy rosters? It was kind of a shotgun debut for poor Sligo. But now I feel like he's been just finding his place more on allowing Smoothie to take that role and just looking for those mechanical checks. He was able to get it on Jimmy and pretty beautifully in that mid lane.
We did hear from Will, though, that, you know, some of his teammates on Dignitas, they talk a lot about team strategy and everything, and he doesn't care about that at all. He just wants to play the game. Of course, referencing his time on Dignitas Academy. A different player now, I think it's fair to say, Will. More team-focused than he was back in his younger years, playing and going to high school at the same time. I still can't believe that he was doing that. He's just multi-talented, you know?
That's why it's so tough out there for a lot of amateur players, because they have to continue with a lot of that, especially in the collegiate space. Working, they don't get to put their full attention onto the game itself. You know, that's one of the advantages that we give over to a lot of these academy squads. Their lives are focused onto League of Legends, onto this tournament.
Yep. It's the job, you know? You got to improve as much as you possibly can, and that's what we've seen from both of these teams over the course of this tournament. I think it's fair to say, after watching that last game, that 100 Thieves may be showing slightly more improvement than Evil Geniuses. It could also just be a product of them having a higher baseline that we've already seen in the regular season. I mean, you can see at the top of your screen, 100 Thieves, they were 2nd seed overall in this tournament. Only team that had a higher placement than them was Team Liquid Academy, which is a team that EG managed to take down in a really solid manner earlier on in this event. But EG, they still have a lot of that weight on their shoulders that their regular season didn't quite, they didn't show up at that stage. And they're facing down one of those really, really strong teams from that. A lot of those feelings can start to creep in, especially now that they are on that last chance. If they lose this game, they're out of the tournament.
I will say, 100 Thieves, they had a good regular season, but it was bumpy. It might be a 2nd place finish, but it was definitely bumpy. It felt like these games were a lot closer than they should have been. I think the AGT game was kind of an exploitation of that. It seemed like 100 Thieves were just going for straight out, we're going to out-mechanics you. We don't have to worry about draft and whatnot. Now, 100 Thieves are much more serious coming into this, and I feel like we're seeing what their true ceiling actually is now that they are in Proving Grounds. Now that they are being tested, they're going to look to test Sligo. Sligo getting collapsed upon by the duo. Oh, catches him out on the Spirit Rush. Beautiful from Busio with the tidal wave.
That was nasty from Busio. Forget everything that I said about wanting him to play Pyke. His Nami is ruthless. The crowd control chain right there onto one of the most mobile champions in the entire game. Finds the tidal wave, finds the bubble in the chain. Oh, wait, Jimmy-in?
Tomio going on to Jimmy-in. Does have the backup of
Cowrie's
Smoothie.
here.
Over the wall comes Cowrie. Wanting to pick off Jimmy-in. Doesn't have a shutdown just yet. Still grabs a kill nonetheless. But Cowrie kind of fed to the wolves right here. Has to flash away. Looking to try and take Busio down with him. But will get the kill in time. It's going to be a trade as Tomio gets one of his own. Will find another with a double kill onto Busio. But can't continue the chase onto Will. Both of the junglers staring across each other as their team collapses around them.
It may have been a solid crowd control chain from Busio, but the aftermath was ruthless from Evil Genius's Cowrie. He's so fast on the map, thanks to Zeri and the Yuumi as well, and now Saligo, he might get some revenge of his own.
Saligo waiting out the flash, still holding on to the charm. The chase down, really just holding on to the CC and forcing Tenacity into an awkward situation where he feels like he has to dodge nothing. Still chipping away at that health bar. They'll be able to take him down, but Tenacity will get a flash out of Saligo nonetheless.
Yeah, forcing both of those summoner spells shows us that Tenacity will be very scary if the game continues. He's got his first item fully completed now. It's an Eclipse, so you know he's about to deal a lot of damage. I'm already kind of worried just watching what he did in the 1 versus 2. I'm imagining some big things for the Darkened Sword. Let's watch this play one more time as we get the response play specifically from Evil Genius's Cowrie. He doesn't actually have the Yuumi on top of him until right now, but he's still so confident that he can 1v1 Jimmy-in.
That's what I mean. That's classic Cowrie for you. Just dives headfirst into a 1v5, but he still gets a kill.
Pretty good stuff from the star marksman of Evil Genius's Academy all year. He's put up some great performances, and his team really needs him to pull up another one of those right now on the Zeri. Late game queen right now. I'm hoping to see it. I want to see some more big plays, especially if they're going to be like that one.
Absolutely. You'd love to see it, and you might see it soon, Smacks, because 20 seconds left before that dragon hits the map, and it looks like both teams are very interested. Jimmy-in will do a push over on that top side. No problem whatsoever. He has teleport. He can get down there and join the fight in no time whatsoever. Surdy just trying to hold control over the river with the rest of the Evil Geniuses. So giving an advantage over here to 100 Thieves Academy. They'll get a lot of free time with these towers.
Jimmy-in is hitting that turret, the top tier 2 turret before the plates have even fallen, Deserex. He got that down to like half HP up there, right? I mean, yeah, you're giving over a dragon, but you're gaining quite a bit on the other side of the map, not to mention the mid lane plates that they were able to take. And they're even forcing a teleport out of Surdy, yeah. This map setup really favored 100 Thieves Academy, and they don't have to worry about these drakes for quite some time.
Yeah, that was a lot of free farm for Jimmy-in. As you said, before the plates even fell, he was able to knock that tower down to about half health and forces the teleport out of Surdy. Even with that Drake grab, you're setting up a late game win condition once again for EGA, but 100 Thieves, they have their priorities elsewhere and they definitely play to them.
Well, the priorities of the last game definitely showed a very similar thing. They were more focused on just scaling up, getting as much gold as they possibly can, and then as long as there's no 4th dragon, you don't have to worry about it. It's just 3 dragons. That doesn't make a soul. You gotta have the full straight. And Evil Genius Academy, they're halfway there, but they don't have it quite yet. They've got a lot of power on their team, though, and I'm specifically waiting for Sir to get a couple of items under his belt. I already mentioned before how the carry potential is there for this Gwen. You've got a Yuumi on your team, so even if Cowrie does go for some ambitious plays, you got a backup.
Oh my god, okay, well. Tenacity! What in the world did I just witness? A murder over in the river. At the same time that the Rift Herald's up, it just sets things up so beautifully for 100 Thieves Academy, who are getting a very real spike right now. Smacks, look at the Mythics, all completed across the board. That pick sets up Rift Herald, and the income is now booming for 100 Thieves.
Kitten is down, Deserex. Kittens do not do very well with swords, it turns out. Tenacity has a pretty big one over there, and he's wielding it quite well. Smoothie goes down. No teammates to back him up. There's way too many crowd control instances to actually keep the W up for Yuumi. Every single time you get crowd control, it puts it on a 5-second cooldown, so there's really no way for Smoothie to attach, even if his friends arrive. Aatrox, just a very good champion into that. And now, with all of that pressure, they're able to take down the Rift Herald, probably get this mid lane turret. I don't want to jinx it.
Let's see. Okay, you're good. You're good, Smacks. No jinx coming out. Not even
no
on the
jinx
way,
yet. Yeah. No jinx from Arcane. Maybe we'll get some Jinx later. I want to make a spicy marksman pick, like bingo card as well. I think that'd be pretty fun.
How would Summer from Arcane look?
Match the one from Solari. I think I did one of the like character creator things from. You know how they had like it was like a Pikaru, but for Arcane style. I think I did one of those. Maybe I have one of those. I do Pikarus like all the time. My profile picture is one of those right now.
You know, for what it's worth, I think you naturally look Arcane.
I'm gonna say that's a good thing, and I'm gonna say thank you.
Well, yeah,
I don't really know what that means, but
look
I
magic.
appreciate it. I like Arcane. Oh,
Yeah.
all right, that's good. Yeah,
Not
I
Alex,
like
though. Not Alex.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
that
yeah.
magical.
He's a different kind of magical, different brand.
As we head back to the Rift to what's being set up here, a minute 45 before the next Drake spawns, and it's Evil Geniuses who are setting up quite early. You're trying to get that roam out from Saligo once again. We saw that in game number 1. If you free up Saligo, he will look for side lane flanks. And on a much better champion to find it on an assassination on a pick basis with this Ahri, who can chase down, especially alongside this Xin Zhao. But with these next resets coming out, it seems like 100 Thieves Academy are focusing on defending their structures first.
Ooh.
Going over towards
Pretty
this
big.
top side where Jimian's pushing in a wave.
They've already got a really solid position on this. They don't actually wait into the brush, which is good. EG don't actually take the bait, but they're really focused on taking down this structure. I don't have too many range champions here, but they're going for the engage.
That's the problem. If you get caught by the crowd control, there's a chain of it that follows through. But look at Surdy go, trying to get Will. Will, one more tick falls
Almost
to
dead.
the ignite. Already first kill coming out for EGA, and they're looking for the turnaround. They're looking for more. Tomio chasing, looking for the audacious charge. Will get it? No. Lands it onto a minion. When becomes lightning, gets onto nothing, and BMFX will turn around for the shutdown. Cowrie gets the kill in return. A 2-for-1 exchange. EGA, they snap back at the push of 100 Thieves Academy.
I wanted so badly for Cowrie to dash over that wall and continue to play, but we're not going to get that crazy in this game. Evil Geniuses will take what they can get on that play, find another set of picks, and perhaps set up for this dragon, because they just killed the enemy team's jungler. They've got a really solid position on the map. Yeah, Tomio's dead, but you can get this vision down and maybe set yourselves up for that soul, actually. This would be the third Drake, and they're even going to get a turret.
You gotta do it fast, though, because it's the same thing on 100 Thieves Academy's mine. Look at their recalls, look at their backs. They're coming right towards the mid lane, they're coming right towards Drake. Evil Geniuses Academy, this would put them at Dragon Soul Point. Tomio now coming out from the jungle to bring that smite, but 100 Thieves Academy, they want to contest this, and they have Jimian on the flank. Jimian looking for a way in. Ultimate to be stolen away, puts out the Everfrost for a double root, and 100 Thieves instantly go for the engage onto Saligo. Tomio jumps in, Crescent Guard defends against nothing. Tenacity will cleave him right down. Now Surdy trying to hold that front line. He has a lot of damage, but Tenacity's brought a lot of his own. The Great Sword cleaving into Cowrie gets chased down. Another kill acquired as 100 Thieves Academy still standing strong with 4. Saligo so low. Ultimate gonna be used. Now Smoothie trying to get the roots out for Surdy, for Saligo to find the comeback because those health bars are so low. They are so low. You're waiting for the kills, waiting for the comeback potential out of Evil Geniuses Academy, but the Everfrost will get another root on the Surdy. And now Evil Geniuses, they couldn't close the distance in time. They will chase away 100 Thieves from this Drake, but they lost a lot taking that team fight, Smacks.
Ooh, I don't think EG can actually do this. If the recalls come through, there are 2 teleports for 100 Thieves. Here comes one of them. Oh, this is dangerous.
And have they lost too much? Have they lost too much to contest this fight anymore? To save this Drake anymore? Tenacity being there, he's just too much of a threat, Smacks.
The double teleport on the side of 100 Thieves Academy secures them this dragon, lets them heal all the way back up to full HP on that base. And they've denied the soul. It wasn't quite the 4 stack yet for Evil Geniuses, but this is already doing so much work for 100 Thieves Academy at putting a stop to all of the plans that Evil Geniuses have. You get to watch this team fight again as Jimian, he's again just so creative with these flanks. He's actually not even committing anything, but he's still garnering the attention of 4 members of Evil Geniuses, effectively removing Saligo from the entirety of the rest of the fight. And now Tenacity does a very similar thing. He's so threatening too. Look at the combination here. He flashes forward. Wait, look at this instead, actually.
A combo onto Will. Only gets the clone. Will's still alive. Saligo has to go away. So does Tomio. Tenacity looking to chase him down. That would have been such a big pick right there. Not getting Will definitely hurts, but it's not the end of the world. Not too much was committed out of Evil Geniuses as we kind of catch our breath after that last bloodbath, Max. What a wild match it's been thus far. Evil Geniuses, they're fighting tooth and nail to stay in this, and I see such a light in Surdy. In those team fights, he has been snipping away. He has been getting that splash damage. 3-0-0 right now currently for Evil Geniuses Academy.
We're seeing a lot of people on the Rift right now, very dialed in to what these team fights are and how to execute them. I think both top laners, to fully give a spotlight here, are doing the most for their team right now.
Absolutely.
You already just highlighted Surdy. 3-0 on this Gwen, and he's only going to get more threatening as the game goes on. You've already seen the power that he has when the Yuumi is attached to him, and Tenacity flashing forward with the Darkened Blade. Really scary too. These big juggernauts for their teams. This is going to be pretty much the solo front line for both of them. They have to make this work.
Can they? That is going to be the big question right now. There's nothing too much on the board to really go for, so we should see more of a lull in action. Not going to see anything too aggressive as we just try and get to towards the point where we're setting up the map state for the next major objective. And speaking of objectives, let's take stock of what's on board. Baron, still on the side of the map. Evil Geniuses are hovering on the side of the map where you still have a tower, so taking down that tower would be good to get a lot of control over there. You got to do it timely, though, because 2 minutes, 35 seconds, another Drake will spawn. It's going to be a very, very delayed dragon stacking win condition if Evil Geniuses do want to go for that. But they can afford to go for it this time because they did draft that Zeri with Cowrie.
Getting everything up towards that turret and 100 Thieves. They don't actually have any map set up on the other side. Oh, Lucio. Nice.
Tomio in instant ultimate from Smoothie. We'll get that lockdown onto Busio. And tidal wave down, healing down. With that, Evil Geniuses feel like it's enough to go for Baron.
Yeah, I don't know if they're right about this. Will has Cyclone still, can go for a gigantic engage.
Oh,
EMFX is here, Jimmy's here.
There.
Oh, there it is.
There's that Cyclone right onto Tomio. Tomio still getting picked off by the Baron, by the members of 100 Thieves Academy. Now Surdy going to join right in, hops onto Jimin, who still has the Spirit Rush, can hop away. Going on to BMFX will be Surdy, going for the 4v1. Doesn't even care that he doesn't have backup, still looking for the fight. I forget that there's a Yuumi right there, but finally going to go down is Surdy. Following suit, Smoothie in 100 Thieves Academy, team fight after team fight. They say you want to go after that Baron while that choke point looks so tasty.
It's just not quite enough healing to keep Surdy alive, and Smoothie as well. Cowrie, the only one still standing for the side of Evil Geniuses Academy, but even he is not strong enough to stop this Baron. And Evil Geniuses, they just got too overzealous off of one pick onto the Nami. The death timers aren't even that long. Busio is right back to the action. He's going to get a Baron buff anyway. They did not have the right understanding of what that window actually was for them, and they shot for the moon, ended up landing somewhere in the Pacific.
It's disgusting if you try and go for a Baron in a choke point like that around that Baron pit area. Like, dude, Will, Cyclone, all day, every day, and Jimmyin can pick for ages having that Spirit Rush.
We're seeing the full comfort of Will's Wukong in action right now. 4-man Cyclone, kind of fine if you think about it, because one of those is Yuumi. But yeah, just landing it onto literally everybody, setting up the front line for BMFX and Jimmyin to get in there and deal all of this insane damage. And again, this window is not even that big. Nami's alive by the end of this team fight. Surdy's still fighting, and Nami just respawned. This window is really not that big for EG, but you can just feel them getting desperate. You can feel them seeing and watching as their Proving Grounds hopes are fading away in front of them. A lot faster now that they did this, as 100 Thieves now has a Baron, and they're going to be taking down an inhibitor turret.
Oh, they're taking this down so fast. Tidal Wave goes out, Bubble lands on the Tomio. That turret falls to the cannon creep, popping one more ball right into the dead center of it. With that Tenacity now looking to chase down Surdy. Surdy trying hard with that split push, but unfortunately unable to get too much damage. And 100 Thieves starting to look like their game more and more. The Dragons are going into their hands. They are the first ones there. Base has already been cracked, and Evil Geniuses how do they find a way back into this? I mean, there's still good pick there, there's still good damage there, but when it comes to the outright team fight, Will and Tenacity have been just too much of a presence.
Yeah. Evil Geniuses, they're not even competing or trying to go for anything around the Drakes. The Soul is a long shot away. I don't think that they're even considering it at this point. They really do need to find some way to back into these team fights and get Kaori to survive everything and deal all this late game damage that he can do on this Zeri. You see, he's got 10k in the bank, spent on his items. He's gone to the shop. He's got some drip. He's ready to deal the damage. He's even got a Yuumi with him.
Oh, Jimmy with the Everfrost. An instant pick onto Kaori. And with that pick lined up so easily is this tower. Tenacity on the flank. Another engage coming out of Jimmy, who's just looking for them, exploiting this PG buff. Will grab that kill, and it's just hunting down the remaining members because it's a plane ticket. It's going to be sent right home for Evil Geniuses Academy. 100 Thieves looking to close this out.
Sligo's able to find one pick, but I doubt he can do too much else. All of these minions with the Baron buff are attacking this base.
Sligo, can he make it happen? 2 versus 4. 100 Thieves are being a little bit dissuaded right here. They don't have a minion wave.
All right.
So it's not going to be the end yet. 100 Thieves going to play. They're going to pay their respects. They're going to pay this carefully.
Yeah.
They'll take the recall.
Baron expired there as well, which I think is a big deal. The Yuumi ultimate really stalling out all those minions, and both Nexus turrets actually remain alive. I feel bad for Kaori, as I definitely cursed him there. He died immediately after I called him the win condition, so my bad. He's still the win condition, though. I feel like I'm cursing him again, but it's still true.
You know what? Let's do it together.
He's not the win condition.
Maybe 2 curses will cancel each other out. Kaori is the win condition. He will save Evil Geniuses. We get later into this game, he's going to be the big one. Watch for him. He's got his flash. He's got his ghost. He's got fancy feet.
Too. Yeah. He should be able to deal a lot of damage. He's still got Yuumi there too. I hope for his sake, and I hope for Evil Genius' sake, that is true, and he does not get completely blown up to smithereens by Jimmy.
Stop trying to double curse it, Smack. I'm trying to take it away from the curse, and a little bit cursed is Surdy's luck as he bumps into Jimmy, but able to collapse onto him. Tomio goes in the air. Crescent's guard is going to be used, but already a shutdown being acquired from Surdy, who gets that one. Now Tomio goes golden, tries to get BMFX, but BMFX will escape a kill coming out for Will as he'll be on a rampage claiming Tomio. But now Kaori is looking for the pop-off. He's looking for it, but can he find it? There is a fog of war there, and you don't want to face check that by yourself. Has Sligo waiting in the wings, almost able to find that big moment. Still grabbing Jimmy and is a breath of air that Evil Geniuses will gladly take, Summer.
You can see the damage potential there for Kaori. His W did 940 damage to Busio, which is half of his HP. So you see how it could possibly work. If Evil Geniuses are on even footing and they're playing around in the jungle, you can weave those Ultra Shock lasers through all of the team. It's still just going to be hard because you have to do your chores now for Evil Geniuses. You've got a to-do list up on the wall, and all of them require you to go and clear out all of these super minions that are going to completely ravage your base if you do not. You have to go do your chores, otherwise your Nexus will be upset. And I guess Nexus is the mom in this scenario? I don't know.
We'll go with it.
Any mommy Nexus fan art?
Smacks, don't ask for such cursed things to be put on my Twitter timeline, please. Oh, look at this. They're going for the final engage, and they find the bubble. Busio flush with the landing. Will follows it up, and unstoppable he'd be. Baron spawning in the next couple of seconds, and 100 Thieves Academy. They see that as the final nail in the coffin. They'll head straight in that direction.
Yep, gonna be another Baron. Tomio dead. No smites here for EG. We already said that the Ultra Shock Laser does 900 damage, which is the same as smite. So maybe Kaori can steal this away. Let's see. He's not in range. Oh, here it is.
Chance.
Here it is.
Okay, nope.
Okay.
Nope.
It was a good try.
It's gonna have to be the best of tries now for Evil Geniuses Academy.
Yeah.
Especially for Kaori here. I mean, he could do it. He could do it. He's popped off before. Gonna have to do it again, though, and that's the problem. If he gets a little bit too close, 100 Thieves Academy are willing to punish out. Cowrie will still stay alive and still keep being that threat. Evil Genius is looking for more, but it's going to be the recall coming out. No, Saligo will catch it out with the charm, but only catches out the clone. Still follows through. Everfrost will not land onto Will Surdy. Now looking to continue this engage. Jimmian has a Spirit Rush, has a way to get out of this. Puts down the Everfrost as well to try and buy time for Will, and it will save Will. Now look at Tenacity. Now look at the mid lane. They're knocking at your door, and the teleport will not go through. Getting interrupted by the Cyclone of Will. Surdy will have to take the long way home. Nope, Express when it's a death to the respawn, and Tenacity with the flank will tear apart Evil Geniuses. Cowrie, make that last stand and make it worth it.
Oh, he's trying. His ultimate's gonna expire in a second. Here's the tidal wave, Jimmy, and flash
Tidal wave
forward.
comes in, a sidestep, but the Colin can't find the sidestep there. Smoothie will fall. And with only one remaining, this is going to be done right here. The youngest team in Academy. It doesn't come without its faults. They went through the school of hard knocks, and they come back knocking. They will break down the door and make their way through their continued lower bracket run.
Ooh, a nice 2-0 for 100 Thieves, keeping the summer break going for Will in the jungle. The entire team is really coming together in these lower bracket runs here, Deserex. I've been continuously more and more impressed by this team. Maybe that Cinderella run is upon us once more.
Yeah, this lower bracket run has been absolutely insane from 100 Thieves. We had our doubts when they got knocked down into that lower bracket, but they have been running through team after team, and they do not stop when it comes to the momentum of Evil Geniuses Academy, a team that was on the upswing, that had a fantastic game against Team Liquid Academy, like you had brought up before, Summer, but that is not enough to deal with the Titans that are 100 Thieves Academy.
And it's a shame that we don't get to see any more of Evil Geniuses Academy in this year, because we did see some great heights from them in that Team Liquid game and all throughout the year as well. I think Cowrie has shown to be one of the best mechanical players that we have in North America. I think Surdy really stood out to me in that last game as well on the Gwen. There's a lot still going for these players on Evil Geniuses Academy. They're just not going to continue on in this tournament. 100 Thieves, congratulations on the win today.
Big congratulations as they will proceed in the Proving Grounds. Now, we are going to throw it over a short break. When we return, we will have our guest Solara with us as well as Mazel, so be sure to stay tuned.